I never believed in ghosts. Sure, I enjoyed the stories. I even chased them a little. I ran a modest blog about urban exploration, abandoned factories, forgotten tunnels, cold ruins echoing with the past. But I never saw anything that made me think the supernatural was real. That is, until I received the email. Subject: Invitation to investigate, sanatorial from Anton Kovacs. I've followed your blog for some time. There's a location I believe you'll find unforgettable. A hospital in Romania. Shut down in 1984. The locals call it sanatorial. No one goes near it, but I'm putting together a team of investigators. Paranormal types. 1 week, document everything. Are you in? I should have said no. But curiosity, it's a disease worse than any they treated in that place. I flew into Arad, a sleepy Romanian city near the Hungarian border. Anton picked me up in an old, squealing van. With him were 2 others, Mila, a Slovakian photographer with an eye for forgotten beauty, and Gabor, a Hungarian sound technician with a background in paranormal audio analysis. He claimed to have recorded spirits before. I hear what others don't, he said. We drove for hours into the countryside. Pavement gave way to gravel, and then to dirt. The GPS froze. Fog crept in like a living thing. At last, the trees opened, and we saw it. Sanatorial. A 3-story stone beast of a building, shaped like an open mouth. Windows shattered, ivy strangling its face. The gates were rusted through, bent like they had been pried apart by force. The moment I stepped out of the van, I felt it. A drop in pressure. A heaviness. Like something ancient watched us from inside. Anton lit a cigarette with shaking fingers. They say no one who stays overnight hears silence again. Inside, the hospital stank of rot and rust. The foyer was crumbling, tiles shattered, ceiling panels hanging down like dead skin. Old signage in Romanian pointed towards surgical wards, psychiatric wings, and a basement morgue. Gabor unpacked his gear: EMF meters, parabolic mics, EVP recorders. Mila set up her drone for aerial shots. I took photos. Mold crept up the walls like veins. Rusted beds were overturned. One gurney sat eerily in the center of the hall, its restraints still buckled, stained brown. We set up camp in the old administrator's office. It still had a warped desk, patient files rotting in drawers, and a cracked photo of a doctor with a black sensor bar over his eyes. Doesn't that seem odd? I asked, pointing at it. Anton replied, the director was erased from records. All we know is his name started with an M, locals say he never left. We each took shifts watching the monitors Gabor set up in the main corridor. Around 2:17 a.m., the air turned cold. Our breath misted. Then we heard it. Metal dragging. Loud, unmistakable, echoing down the hallway. Gabor froze. It's moving toward us. Anton grabbed his camera. I followed with a flashlight. Mila came last, filming the whole way. We followed the noise to the surgical theater, doors hanging by rusted hinges. The dragging stopped. We pushed through. It was pitch black inside, even with our lights. Dust filled the air. Old lights dangled like vines. Then we heard it, breathing. Wet, heavy, rattling. Not ours. And then, something moved in the corner. A shadow. Shaped like a man. Hunched. Shaking. Do you see it? Mila whispered. It turned, though it had no eyes, and disappeared behind a curtain. Gabor's EMF meter went wild. We fled. The next morning, Gabor played the audio from his overnight recorder. There was silence for hours. Then, at 2:17 a.m., the dragging sound. Then whispering, faint at first. "Help me. Cut it out. They're still here." Mila paled. "I thought that voice sounded like me," she whispered. "We didn't sleep that second night." Anton insisted we explore the basement morgue. The stairs down were narrow, slick with mildew. The air smelled of formaldehyde and iron. The walls dripped. At the bottom, we found rusted lockers, body drawers, and a gurney with leather straps so old they crumbled to touch. Then the lights died. Complete darkness. We turned on flashlights. Mine flickered. Mila gasped and pointed at the far wall. Painted in something black and wet were the words, "M had to make them clean." Gabor muttered, "This wasn't here yesterday." We turned. A door creaked open on its own. Inside was a surgical prep room, dry, empty, except for one thing, a jar filled with what looked like preserved human teeth. Each one had tiny letters carved into them. Gabor spelled it out. "See what he did." Anton shared testimonies from past paranormal investigators. None had lasted more than a night. I heard footsteps on the ceiling, even though we were on the top floor. A woman screamed in the walls, over and over. He followed us home. I still hear him. We pieced together what we could. The sanatorium, originally built in 1911, treated TB patients, then became a psychiatric facility in the 40s. During World War II, it was allegedly used by Nazi doctors for human experiments. The head of the hospital, referred to only as Director M, was rumored to have performed soul-cleansing surgeries, essentially torture under the guise of treatment. After the communists took over, it became a black site. People sent there never came back. Theories. 1. Residual hauntings, echoes of trauma looping forever. 2. Intelligent presence, Director M himself, now a spirit trying to continue his work. 3. Cursed ground, locals said the land beneath was once a plague pit, and the hospital was doomed from the start. No theory made me feel better. On day 4, Mila disappeared. She said she was going to film drone footage at sunrise. She never came back. We searched the whole building. Nothing. Her gear was gone. But her camcorder was found inside the old hydrotherapy chamber, a place we never visited. We played the footage. At one point, Mila was filming the third-floor hallway. She stopped. Looked down the hall. Whispered, "That's not possible. That's me." She turned the camera toward a shape, a woman. In the same clothes. Same haircut. Then static. We called the police. They never showed. The hospital had 3 floors. Officially. But in the records we found, rotting folders in the administrator's drawer, there was mention of a 4th floor. A private wing. No elevators. No stairs. Only accessible via dumbwaiter in the kitchen. We found it. The shaft was large enough to crawl through. Anton volunteered. He went up. We waited. Minutes passed. Then the dumbwaiter descended. It was empty. Except for his camera. The footage was 10 minutes of darkness. Then, briefly, a hallway. Fluorescent lights flickering on. Rooms with surgical tables. Then, Anton, staring at the camera. Eyes rolled back, whispering, "He's still operating, I can hear the blades." That night, I heard Anton's voice calling my name from the dumbwaiter shaft. He never came back. By dawn, it was just Gabor and me. He was unraveling, muttering in Hungarian, scratching his arms raw. I packed what I could and told him we had to leave. He wouldn't move. Said the voices told him the hospital was in him now. He had to stay. He had to listen. I didn't argue, I ran. Down 3 flights. Through the foyer, into the woods. I didn't stop until I collapsed near the van. I turned back once, the building watched me. 6 months later, the Romanian authorities denied any investigation took place. Mila and Anton are still missing. I uploaded what footage I could. It was removed within days. My blog was hacked. Emails deleted. But sometimes at night, I hear it. Dragging metal, a voice whispering in Romanian. He made me clean. And sometimes I dream of the hospital. Only now, I'm on the 4th floor, and I can't wake up.